sung that.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Roll Advantage. Welcome to the newest episode of the Tales of Evrand. It is great to have you here. We're excited to dive in. Before we roll the intro, we got a couple of things cooking up. We got Rachel, who is I'm gonna move you to Rachel's makeup screen right now. So Rachel's the only one visible, just so we're aware. You have a screen.
Oh
Yeah,
it's,
every time you do your makeup.
It's Rachel's makeup corner, even.
That's cute.
Yeah, it is.
It's just you on the screen right now.
Yeah, it's just you.
Don't look at me.
Oh, God.
So I bought elf ears. And a wig to dress up as Basil. My ear fell off.
Ah,
shit.
No! Tragic. So tragic.
Anyway, so today's makeup is Rianne.
The makeup
Oh my
is
God.
Rianne. The hair is
The
Basil.
hair is a work in progress.
And the ear is Van Gogh.
Oh, stop.
So like we try to do every week, I read a snippet of my notes from the last session, and John this week decided to pick it out. So here it is. They and Basil have finally met at the crossroads. Who knew that deviance was what would bring them together. This is what happens when two bitches see eye to eye.
Great notes.
Yeah.
Great
End
notes.
scene.
Truthfully,
Christ.
one of the
Right.
world's greatest truths. But that's not it.
We have
before
another
roll
one.
the intro. Yeah, we have
It's
a navy blue screen right now, which is so incredibly interesting. Nicholas, what is happening?
In line with my wife, I have also decided to dress up as my character today. So I'm going to take off my headphones and reveal.
I
If
swear
your
to
head's
God,
not
if he's
shaved,
like
I'm gonna be sad.
perfectly blue, I'm gonna be grumpy because I've been struggling over here.
We don't have the stuff yet.
Oh, but shit.
Oh my god. No!
Look at
Oh.
boy.
Oh.
Oh, look at those wrinkles.
Oh man!
You look
Oh
like
my
a. You
Wait,
look like a.
you're
like a
Alan.
yeah. Hair
Oh
on the
my
hair.
Hair coming out
God.
the side and everything.
You're Alan, Nick.
How's everybody doing today?
Yeah.
Oh my
looking good.
god. Oh my god.
Amazing.
All right, so let's play some D&D, I guess.
You
Yeah.
have.
let's go.
Do you have a concussion? Because you've got a really deep divot on your head. Oh, your skin is not meant to fold like that. It looks like you got picked up by a claw machine.
It's love handles.
Who's loving you like that?
Clearly, it's me, Joe. You don't have to yuck my yum.
I don't know. If your yum is folding people's skin on their skull, I might have some problems.
Oh my god.
I don't think.
Would it help if I was Paul Schaefer?
Oh my god.
I'm crying.
The fifth beetle. I forgot about
Oh
him.
my god.
I didn't realize he
I
was
don't-
still alive.
I don't watch the show, but I've seen gifs of like they said a pawn dealer dude who like goes on
Pawn
TV.
Stars?
Yeah, or something, and someone who looks like that. I don't know. I don't know.
I do not know. I mean, I know Pawn Stars. I do not know anyone that looks like this.
I must be wrong then.
He's a new employee.
Yeah. Hey, everybody.
Best I could give you is $10.
Best I
I
can
don't know
do
money.
is two
So-
copper.
Oh my god. So following that, we are gonna throw it back to Rachel, who's reading the summary this week.
We still gotta do the intro. Intro first.
Shit. Okay.
Basil's broke.
Yep.
And-
I fixed some of it, my
Oh, that's good.
inventory. I guesstimated, but I lowballed it because I didn't want to be.
I'm so glad you guesstimated how much money you had.
Don't you wish
I
you
tried
could
to
do
do-
that with your bank account
yeah.
now?
Right?
I tried to do that, and the IRS was not happy.
Happy.
So with that, Rachel as Basil, go ahead and read the summary. Oh wait, did I say what session this is?
No.
think I, it's
I didn't know,
It's
so I just
session
said welcome to
28.
the newest
It's
session.
book 10.
welcome to session
Chapter
28.
3.
Nick.
It's
Book 3,
chapter
chapter 10.
10.
Oh, I reversed it.
All right, everyone all at once. What book is it?
Book
Book
7.
3, chapter 10.
57.
5.
All right. Rachel as Basil, go ahead and take away the summary.
Okay, today is the 7th day of Elysius. However, when I wrote this, when this was being experienced, I don't think it was that day. So it was probably the 6th. Anyway, I didn't think this journey could be any worse, but I love being wrong all the time, so I might as well add another thing to be wrong about. I'm not used to the cold, and if I'm being candid, I don't think I ever will like it. I'm used to the warmth and humidity of Wodale, and this is just outright unacceptable. And to make matters more interesting, we found ourselves in a gigantic cave that we literally crashed into with our bodies very hot, and it's cold. Beautiful, but cold. Like always, everyone is tense, and Vey is 2 seconds away from slaughtering our party. I wouldn't blame him, as long as he doesn't do that to me. Now, Yersa and Rian are trying to be positive and happy, like they always try to be when morale is low. However, that doesn't help when we're all homicidal and lost. And apparently, Rian and Vey are good at mazes. Apparently, they spent a good amount of time in mazes in order to be good at them. Either way, we're running into these fucked up centaur things and none of us were ready, especially since we can't seem to understand how to relay information. And I'll give everyone a break, because we're all just tired and stressed. And I'm honestly surprised with our determination to keep going. And maybe that's why people look up to us and believe we're the best group to save the world. It's still stupid, as can be, but I appreciate the sentiment, really, I do. However, we did stumble upon a woman named Celia. She was trapped by a bunch of the centaur things, and honestly, they're not too hard to take down when there's only 3 of them. She did mention, though, that she's looking for her brother, Gabriel, as he's been missing for a few years. And this is an odd place to look for him, especially since she mentioned they're a long way from home. And it's not the first or even the last place I would look. I don't know anyone who has gone missing, so I wouldn't know, okay? And did I mention that cave is literally grumbling? Anyway, we learned about Proterra, said to be the first civilization before the gods fought. It must have been a nasty war for Proterra to be completely obliterated. And I'm not surprised by this, though, as the gods can be brutal. I mean, like that time when one of them got mad and created the Ice Age, and then the meteors took out the dinosaurs, and it... Shit, no, wrong plane of existence. Sorry. We also learned that Celia and Gabriel are from Limgrove, aka Vampire Land. But Gabriel is wanting to make a move against the vampires, so fortunately, we may have help. Oh, and the cave is still grumbling. And that is because there is a worm as big as the tallest tree in the world that is trying to eat us. Yes, Agak and I were flung around like a piece of meat in a wolf's mouth, but fortunately, Bear Yersa saved us. But we were struggling. And we finally met Gabriel, who is weirdly hiding in this cave. Vey and I sensed something wasn't right, and we were right about that. He's half dead, but fully handsome. As is Celia, but she has a look that says, "I'll kick the shit out of an orc," way about her, which I can't get enough of. Anyway, we get invited to lunch. We spied on the personal conversation, which is a good thing because they decided to brawl during our hour of eating. Fortunately, we all came to an agreement to take down the Blackmoors together. Celia doesn't look as convinced as Gabriel, but that will have to do for now. And I know we need to see Lady Gemcloak, but we are also very short on time to get to Limgrove. I'm not sure what we're going to do, but I hope it doesn't bite us in the ass later. End scene.
Stunning. Amazing.
Amazing.
Very
That man. Oh, I don't even know how to follow that. That was such a good summary.
That was
Thanks, I wrote it in 10
hysterical.
minutes.
Yeah.
Like, a stress
Do it more
test.
often. That was great.
Cool.
So, with that, we are going to jump back into the game as the party, with their newest friend Celia, made their way into Gabriel's abode through an invite. Eventually realized that Celia was not so much friendly and was there to kill Gabriel. She stabbed him and got a very good hit in after Rian heard that she was indeed a Blackmore. Went to go spring into action, but then Gabriel proceeded to throw Celia across the room and knock her unconscious, bring her back to consciousness, and then have a conversation. After said conversation, the party, Gabriel and Celia, decided, well, for the best interest of everyone, we should all sit down and talk about things. So, as Gabriel gestures to the rest of the party to reconvene back into the dining hall, Celia is brought in first with a rapier to her back. As Gabriel says to you, Celia, and says, "Please sit down. If
I
everyone,
suppose we can do this.
well, you have no choice now. If you are not comfortable, you're more than welcome to leave."
You're more than welcome to kick me out because I think I burnt this.
You like he sniffs the air and you can see that there's like a little bit of smoke rising from the soup, and he's just like, I think it's fine if you go stir it.
Okay. And she like shuffles over and just.
You guys weren't out there long enough to burn the entire soup. Maybe the bottom
Amazing.
was burnt a little bit because it was just stationary.
Just-
Are you just gonna
Just
stay over there?
Mix it in. No one will
Yeah.
know. It's so
Just, like,
small.
It gives like a
flavor.
smoky
Scraping
flavor.
it
You know?
off.
Yeah. You know, like aged.
Aged.
The soup is very important, Jonathan. Come on.
I know, that's why we're still on it. So, Gabriel pulls out a chair for you, Celia, and says, "Sit."
She'll sit.
He pushes the chair in and gestures to everyone. I will ask, where is everyone sitting? There are 3 chairs on the left and right side. It's a long rectangular table. There's a head chair on either side. Gabriel's sitting. Hold on. It's really bad. It's really bad writing, guys. But you see this little rectangle?
Yeah, we got
Okay.
you.
Chair here, 3 on either side. Celia's sitting right here next to Gabriel.
Suppose Rihanna will sit across from Celia.
Okay.
Basil will sit next to.
Okay.
Hazel's like, hey.
Urso will sit next to Rian so she can still see
Yeah.
Celia.
Oh well, I wonder what would happen if you just bit me.
It's like I kind of saw you beating the shit out of your brother, but like, why am I into it?
God. Vay is gonna pull Ada and just sit where there's extra space.
Okay.
Gak is gonna stand next to the soup and stir it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Basil did leave.
Just burn
I
it
thought
again.
the soup was finished.
I thought it was too.
Is it finished?
I thought it was.
It's
And if you
it's
finish-
oh,
Soup, seriously.
I don't know. I kind of want Gak to sit there and stir the soup while this
Okay,
conversation's
I mean,
happening.
he can. He
Jack's gonna
volunteered.
stand. Yeah, he's gonna stand and stir the soup, and he's also going to ritual cast unseen servant so he can take over.
Okay. So who's sitting next to Basil and or Yursa? I forgot. Did Vay say where you were sitting?
Yeah, Vay will sit next to Yursa, and Otta can be on the other side of him.
Otto would be at the other table head, so then Gak would be next to Basil. I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
God.
Otta's the second most powerful person here. That only makes sense.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
really
like,
shitty handwriting, guys, but this is the order. Okay.
Vay is like leaning across to Otta and just like bringing like, come here, like, and he's like, I want you to know I would never stab you, no matter how bad a fight's got. I just want to reassure you of that.
That makes me very, very happy. I'm glad you said that because I was getting worried there for a little bit.
No, I wouldn't. I might. Never mind. I wouldn't.
All right. So my wife, Jacqueline, just texted me. She's like, "Can you bring me a towel?" So let me go give her a towel. Real quick. I'll be right back.
You notice how very interesting thing I noticed. You notice how Otta didn't say that he wouldn't stab Vay?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, that's really fair.
Yeah.
There's
My-
there's tenseness there.
Listen, my big brain theory, just while we're here, is that Otta is the person that stole the artifact. And he's behind all this stuff. He's the big bad evil guy. He's too likable.
He's not.
Nope. I disagree. I don't care that it's your backstory. Nope.
It's more like the timeline doesn't match up
Nope.
at all.
Otta
You never know.
is an ephemeral, ethereal being who exists outside of time, and you. It's like a bookshelf. All right. I'm done.
Wow, there's a lot going into this.
Goodness.
I'll have to
What?
tell you my theory later.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. So, did I pull up Gabriel? It was like an image.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I simped. Don't you remember me? Like, oh my god.
No, I meant again. Did I pull it up again?
Oh, yes, you did.
Okay, cool.
Can I just say, after having this long hair, all of my other D&D characters are gonna be nearly bald, because who can fight like this?
Taking a picture of it.
Well, there you forgot that there's razor blades in there, so
They're
Oh my god.
all in here. You don't even know. And when I
You
whip
just
it
whip
around,
it, yeah.
you just
all right.
cut.
So let's jump back into the game. So as everyone sits down, Gabriel kind of leans back. You can see that as he was going to sit down, he had sheathed his rapier, and he now holds next to him a sheathed blade. It is in a very long black sheath, and the top of the handle and the guard is like this platinum and ruby color. As he holds it there, and he looks over and says, "So, Celia, you have a lot of explaining to do. So let's start with first. Did Father send you here to kill me? Actually?"
Well, yeah, so you're really that surprised?
No, I'm not. I'm surprised that you're the one who's here.
Well, I must admit, I was happy to take up the offer, take up the opportunity.
And why is that?
I mean, surely you can think about it for more than just a second, brother. You've been against everything that Father's been building. It's only natural that then you become so against it that you just, well, you become a liability at that point. And I want to be able to help where I can, you know. So you actually care about the family.
what happened to you. You must see that father is insane, and what he plans to do is... It's not right. Why would you help him in this regard? What has father ever done for us?
But I mean, I don't see why you're so against it. It is right, isn't it?
No, it's genocide.
And what do you think would happen if the roles are reversed? If we weren't the one taking this crusade, would they not be the one doing it against us, brother? Do they not want us dead as equally as we do them?
It's hard to say, because we're not in that situation. Fact of the matter is, because of what father is trying to do, is probably put a target on us as a people's back.
I apologize. This is certainly not my place to interrupt by any means necessary. But, Gabriel, you have invited us to this table, and though this is a brother-sister conversation, I feel as though we are all now been invited to it. What exactly is going on here? What is your father planning to do? I've heard you say the phrase genocide more than once now.
Well, Celia, should I say it, or will you?
Oh no, I'm very curious to see what you have to say.
Before I fled, trying to stop my father from what he was attempting to do, his plans were to raise an army of vampires and then attack the continent of Ephira, and eventually cattle all of the mortals so that they could feed forever. Leave just enough alive so they could reproduce, kill everything else. I don't know if he succeeded in his first part, which was to turn a very large majority of Limgrove into vampires themselves. And he looks to Celia.
Or just smile.
Hey, they were trying to do that where we were as well. But we stopped them.
And where was that?
Woebrook.
So father extended the business into Woebrook and attempted the same thing.
Unsuccessfully.
That is some good news. So I'm to assume, Celia, that the town of Limgrove is overrun, then. He succeeded in that part.
Yes.
How many?
Well, I mean, let's just say that the town's not going to be a problem anymore.
Can I... You can see Yursa is, like, trying really hard to, like, understand all aspects of this. Because she sees two people hurting, and she hasn't really found the root of everything yet. So your father thinks that he has to raise an army of vampires to attack people to find a food source. Gabriel, how long have you been here? What do you feed off of?
I've been here for 30 years, and I am half human, so I don't necessarily need to drink other people's blood. I can eat
And
Do you know
food
how to
and drink.
animals?
I do
Yours
hunt
kind of
as well.
Yours like just kind of, you can see her
I'm
nose twitch a little.
I'm sorry, yes. Neither one is good, however, and I don't. I don't like to put lives in front of others. So,
No, I completely understand what you mean, though. It is that not an option for you? Yrsa looks to Celia.
I don't really think so. I mean, think about it. People don't just stick to one source for things. I'm sure most of you, suppose not you, looking at yourself, would often have a bit of a variety. What, ducks, boars, pigs, lamb, maybe?
Well,
How
yours
is it
is
so
a
different?
she's a vegetarian.
she's a vegetarian.
Yes, people besides her.
I grew up in the Arctic. We kind of ate the same thing all the time.
I'm not much of a cook, so I would just eat my vegetables.
She's trying to justify what she eats. She's half human just like I am. She can easily stop drinking people's blood.
I second that.
I have a tangential question to all of this, if I may. What did you think was going to be successful about this plan? And he turns to Celia to say this. He's like, you have glaring weaknesses, and you're attacking a continent with some of the most adept empires in the entire world, and you think that's going to go well? Valamine alone would crush you easily, or they would exploit you like they have every single person they've overcome. You really think you would be the difference? You can't even go out in the sun.
Listen,
At least the full vampires.
perhaps there's some strong holdings that you have. But it's a truth. It's a truth that vampires are stronger. And will always be faster, better, stronger than anyone that's unblooded.
Then why is your kind dying out?
I think that you're confused. You have to be. You yourself are, what's the word, a Dampier, right? Half vampire, half human. Right, Gabriel?
That's the term you use.
You're full-blooded family members. You say they're so superior, but like they said, you can't go out in the sun. From what I hear, running water is a great issue for you, and in some stories, you can't even eat garlic. If you are so superior indeed, why do full-blooded vampires have to feed on other humans? Or even worse, enslave them? Can they not convince them with their words alone? Exactly what they said. The Valomine Empire can control an entire nation of people with just words. You think you're so superior, but you're twisted. You're confused, and it's so sad.
Well, going off of that, if you're so powerful and your kind is so superior, why are you desperate to make more vampires? Are you dying out?
And going off of that too, if vampires are so much more superior, that's also, and so if vampires are superior, that's what Kieran and Ophelia thought too.
That is
Wait.
true. They did think that.
Not to hinder the conversation, you killed Kyrian and Ophelia.
Oh yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
And went
Kieran
down the
like
whole
turned
mansion.
he turned into goo and like turned into a turtle also, and then burned to death alive.
He looks to Celia and says, I can't imagine Father was happy about that.
No, he's not.
And they were both killed properly as well.
Ophelia, why? So, your name rhymes with Ophelia? So, like, people will run around your house being like, Celia, Ophelia.
I'm sorry, was that meant to be some kind of point?
No, it was a question.
No, Gak is just funny.
Oh,
Right.
well, point being in all this is that I just feel like this plan is very, very flawed in many ways, and you're tossing your lot. I feel like this is, I don't know, fairly opportunistic for you, since you're tossing in your lot with the wrong people. With the amount of devastation Valamine has caused in as many years as they've been around, you're not going to win. You're just not. It's not possible. If one thing we know about humanity and mortals is they're tenacious, they never stop, and their greed is only outweighed by their cruelty. So if you think your kind won't be enslaved or made into something to use as a weapon, you're very wrong. You've just given them more ammunition. You haven't started anything.
He makes a good point. Vey, was it? Celia, father is not well. And I believe he knows that what he's trying to do will not work. But he doesn't care. He doesn't care about me. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about the hundreds of people he's turned, that he calls his children. All he cares about is seeking revenge. And that never goes well.
Hardly feel that's true. There's a difference between revenge and justice. What Father seeks to do is right the natural order of things.
And what is the natural order? I'd like to know.
Oh.
I'm curious.
As everything has been fought for. For you kinds of people to be put in your place.
Okay. Let me ask a new question now. Does anyone here, because I'm not as well versed in history, does anyone here know the origin of vampires?
And to add on to that, does anyone know where they came from?
Ada kind of speaks up and says, I kind of do. Not entirely, but I know a rough origin, so to speak.
Please.
I guess most people don't know.
Well, most people aren't over 700 years old. Well,
Yeah.
some vampires are, actually. But from our archives, vampires date back to, well, the creation of everything. They were created by a god of undeath. Well, more lord, apparently, named Merkul. He created the first vampire, and then from there it kind of just split into what it is now, where they can turn other people and all of that. So that's what I know. At least I believe vampires' origins date back before the Age of Arcanum.
So, tell me, Ada, of course, you admitted that you're not an expert in the situation, but then if that's the case, vampires were created by some evil entity, objectively evil entity before the Age of Arcanum, but still after the gods created humanoid life as we know it.
Well, the humanoid life came before the Age of Arcanum. The calamity is what followed the Age of Arcanum, so vampires survived that.
Yes, and so did humans, so did elves, so did dwarves, and so did so many other races. And if we're talking about the natural order, a god or a lord of undeath, right?
So to speak.
That goes against the natural order. The natural order, life and death. Life and death. Your creator perverted that. Natural order. How can you be
believe-
so brainwashed?
Sorry.
Hey, Rianne.
Yeah.
Can you roll me a persuasion check?
Okay.
So she's weak-willed.
Oh my god. This is fucking funny.
Okay, alright. Oh. Persuasion. Oh, no, it's the wrong thing. You asked my boy to roll. +0. Okay, just a d20. It's not, okay, well, I don't add anything to it. That's a 16.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
Continue.
I just I'm not angry at you. I'm confused. That's all.
There is a natural order. You are correct about that. But it's unfortunately not what you grew up believing. It's not what your people think it is. Like Rian said, it has been changed to satisfy the desires of people who want to be in power forever. But the natural order, it does nothing to help them in the long run. So you can do whatever you can, whatever you want to defy that. But you can't escape it. Even I can't. And I follow the Raven Queen.
I will say, Celia, just the mention of the Raven Queen is kind of just like a don't say that name. It's like if you say Jesus to Satan, you know? It's just
Yeah.
As glorious. Yeah, Elizabeth.
Oh my god, all of you.
Gabriel turns to Celia and says, "This is not the sister I remember. We used to be best friends. And I'm sorry that I left you, and that I fled, and that I did what I needed to do. And I do not blame you for being angry with me. Father he's not our father anymore. Once mother was killed, he changed. Everything was vengeance and revenge. There wasn't anything left of him. And you know deep down, what he's doing is going to get him killed. It's just how many of our kind and other innocent lives he's going to kill along the way and get killed with him. And if you continue to follow him, you will be one of them."
I don't see why I should listen to you after all, though. You're right. We used to be close, but that was back when I thought you cared about our family. About anything that we had. Before you turn your back on it. Father has his plans and you used to help in it. And then what? You turn your back? I don't
Turn my back.
I don't want you talking about any of that, about Mother, about anything, when I know well enough, Gabriel, that you have your tricks. Because you do, don't you? I may not know them exactly, but whatever it is you're planning, whatever it is you want, don't think that you've gone so unnoticed.
This
You don't believe what they're saying, do you? You have to have something else, some kind of plan. Some kind of way that what Father was giving you wasn't enough. Needed more, I suppose. But what is it? What exactly are you trying to do here, Gabriel? Why support them when they're so against us?
Because that's what Mother would have wanted. Mother found the good within Father, changed him. He turned away from his evil ways because of her. I want to uphold our mother's name and not taint it for the history books. Killing innocent people is not going to help.
You forget that they killed her first.
Ooh.
Yes, they did. And those individuals are no longer with us. So the judgment is over. Those who wronged against our family were taken care of. The evil doings of a couple does not condemn an entire people. They are not all like that. They deserve to live.
It's so incredibly sad to me that probably one of the only people left in this world that truly cares about you, that loves you, you won't even hear him out. You won't listen to him at all because of how far gone you are down this rabbit hole your father's led you down. I'm so sorry for you. I'm so sorry you won't see reason.
If I could just inject logic, because it's just interesting to me that you seem to be wanting to vilify an entire group of people based on the things that a few did. And yet, is that not what you are fighting against? What your father claims to be fighting against? Well, they think we're all evil. So, obviously, they'll kill us. We're vampires. But only a few of you are evil, and only a few of you have done bad things, right? Makes sense that not all of you should be blamed for the actions of a few vampires. It makes sense that all of you should get a chance to live despite the fact that some of your people have been vicious, cruel, brutal. Is that not the case? So how can you judge others by a standard you won't even hold yourself to? I wonder.
So what? You people would be so willing to forgive then?
You'd be surprised at what we do, what people do, if they're treated with respect.
It's obvious how little knowledge you have about the world around you. What happened to some of us here, and the fact that some of us can still grow to trust. People like Vey and like Yrsa, the fact that either one of them can trust a human like me is astonishing, truly. They didn't vilify me because of the acts of other humans. And I hope that neither one of them will ever grow to regret that decision.
I don't think I will. And I want you to know the first time I left my home and sat down in a tavern, one of the bar patrons came up to me and asked me what circle of hell I was from. What if I judged everyone I met like that drunk man? Doesn't seem fair. And it doesn't seem like you're the only people in this world who have had to deal with dark origins, of people thinking you're wrong simply for how you look, or the magic you have, or the integral parts of you that make you no different than anyone else. What? We should all suffer too? Should I not then go out and find that man and track him down, and maybe his family deserves to be taught a lesson too? No. Because it was one man. And I have just as many who have treated me with kindness. And who have taken the time to understand. So you don't get to cast judgment. And you don't get to say all mortals are bad. You don't get to do that because it's just not true. And you're no different than us.
Roll me a persuasion, Vay.
The piano agreed with Vay. I'd just like to say the piano agreed because the piano ended when Vay ended.
I'm gonna move the baby over to the crib. That was fucking fire. I'll be right.
It was.
Give me
16.
advantage for that.
16 plus 7.
Oh.
So,
Spicy.
Roll with
23.
advantage, because that was pretty spicy.
okay. It's 19 plus 7, so 26.
Spice.
Ah.
That's the first time I've used that fucking stat, guys. I want you to know.
I'm
It was
so.
an amazing night.
Oh my god. I love that. And that was so smooth too. The passing, like they Yursa, and I hope I never regret that. And I don't think you will. And another thing, bitch.
I heard what Brianna was saying, and I was like, oh, I got a thing for that. That happened
Yeah.
38 sessions ago.
Oh my god. Mm. I'm red. Oh god, I love it. This is what I play D&D. I like this so much.
I
Okay.
like it so much.
I
like
don't let
it
yours
so
go
much.
nice cop now. Everyone went hard cop.
Yeah, yours is gonna come in and be like,
Yeah.
like, I'm a vegetarian, you can be vegetarian.
Part of me is just like, do I get you to roll intimidation or persuasion? I was getting very mixed messages, but I was like,
All right, we're jumping back into this.
Honestly, if I had the choice to drink blood or eat food, like, it's not a hard choice.
Okay, I don't know why.
I'm curious
I
what the
assumed,
choice was
yeah, I
actually.
assumed that you leaned to blood. I don't know why I assumed that about you, Rachel. But my initial assumption was blood. Really? Wow.
No.
What?
You don't have
I
to
give
chew.
off- I give off that vibe, guys.
I don't know.
I
It's
think
just
it's
from
just
the
the
way you
face
said
makeup.
it. Yeah.
No, I would choose food.
All right, I
Me
got
too.
that.
Well, yeah, I know that now.
Now.
I'm just kidding.
On that note, we're jumping back in.
Mhm.
What
I
was
think
rolled, by the way?
after
Oh,
negative plus 7, right?
27.
it was
26.
it was a
26.
26.
Okay.
Plus
All right, go ahead.
26,
A
yeah.
Yours.
lot.
It was a
I
26.
think after Vay shot a whole fireball through her face with with his words, Ursa would just kind of like look, hearing also what Rianne said, and kind of feeling that. She would look at Celia and say, "Do you mind if I touch your hand? I'm not going to cast any magic."
She'll kind of like give a reactionary kind of like look of like disgust. But she'll pause. And I guess, where are you? Like reach across the table, I guess, for it.
Yeah, she would have to. And Ursa would be the one to kind of. She'll actually make Rian change seats, and she'll sit across Celia, and she'll just kind of take one or both of her, however many hands she's willing to offer up, and Ursa's just going to lock eyes with Celia. There's been a lot of talking. There's been a lot of, my father says this, mother said that. Celia, what I want to ask you, or I guess phrase it, has anyone ever asked you, what do you think? And I don't want you to answer and give me a regurgitated response that someone has taught you. I don't want you to give me a phrase that you are given to say in response to this type of question. I want you to sit here, having listened to your father for years, your mother, your brother, and these random strangers that have sat at this table. do you want? Do you want power? Do you want control? Do you want someone to look at you for you? Do you want someone to look at you and judge you by the merit of your character rather than your fangs and what it is you eat? What do you want? What do you want?
She's gonna give like a, as you were saying that, like a flashed look to Gabriel, before I guess rejoining with your eyes. I do want what's best for the family. Because in truth, I couldn't tell you a single thing that Mother said. She wasn't around long enough for that. And I thought, well, cannot have that, at least I have my brother and father dearest as well. And that was everything I worked for. Until I guess I couldn't have that either. And she'll give a sharp look at Gabriel, but then immediately just like look down.
People make choices in life. Some of those choices are much more difficult than others. I can't begin to understand how you grew up. I can't begin to understand how hard you had it. But just like Vey said, just like Rian said, I've seen some very horrible people. I was locked away in a very dark, dark place for 10 long years of my life. Cut off from everyone and everything. I don't have a brother, but I have a sister. One who I love very dearly. And when I crawled out of that pit, I worked tirelessly to rebuild everything I had. She worked tirelessly to rebuild everything we had, our family, back up. And there came a time where I had to make a decision as the older sibling, just like I'm sure Gabe had to make this decision, to leave. It was not easy, but it wasn't malicious. It wasn't out of hate. It wasn't out of disgust or fear. It was because I had to do what was right. I had to make the mature decision of what was right. And sometimes what is right does not always feel good. And every day, I hope and I pray that Melora is listening, that Willow, my sister, doesn't hate me for the choice I made. But somewhere deep down, I know that she doesn't. I know that she understands I had to do what I had to do. Because one day, she's going to have to make the same decision. It hurts. It hurts so badly. And I'm sorry, but hurting is just a part of life. And if you are going to be vindictive and hateful because of a decision your brother made, a decision he made because it was what was right, then you are being selfish.
I'm not the one that's being selfish. It wasn't a single decision he made. It was everything he was. You see, you might believe him so willingly now, but I see you, Gabriel. I know exactly what you've been doing. You may have managed to convince Father, and, well, whatever tricks you have may work on me too. I'm not above admitting that. But don't think that I am the selfish one here. You want to know about selfishness, I suggest you ask him.
I will, when you're done telling me what it is you want. You haven't yet.
I think I have. I think you're just unwilling to believe me.
No,
I want what's right for our family. That's what I care about. What's left of it, at least.
My heart hurts for you. Because I do believe you were lost. Gabriel, what is she speaking about? If we are forcing her to come clean, I think it's only fair that you do the same.
I'm actually curious on that as well. When I attempted first to stop Father from poisoning all of Limgrave 30 years ago, I came to you, and he looks at Celia, and asked for your help. And you didn't help. And I knew I couldn't push you. I knew that would only make things worse. I assume you are calling me selfish for going forward with trying to stop Father, which ultimately led into me being gravely injured by him and having to flee. Not before Father casting me out and banishing me, telling me never to come back again or he'll kill me the next time. So I fled. In 30 years, I've been here, doing nothing. Celia, there's no plots. I have no plans. I haven't been here trying to figure out what to do because I lost. I cannot beat Father. I'm not strong enough. I'm sorry that you see this as selfish, but I truly believe that Mother would not have wanted what Father did to happen. And I so much wish that we could be a happy family again. And there is a part of me that blames those that did that to Mother. Why would I? Why wouldn't I? But I cannot justify his actions. Mother will not justify his actions. And if that is selfishness, then sorry. I wish that you could see reason, and that you and I could at least rekindle some sort of friendship we had. I'm just sorry.
There are none so blind as those who will not see. And Yrsa just looks at Celia.
Celia, sometimes the very thing that your family needs is sometimes the exact opposite of what they want. Everybody always thinks they know what's best for them, but that's not always the case. Similar to your brother, I did not agree with what my family was doing, the kind of power that they were wanting and how they were going to get it. And I left. And I lived my life away from them, having no plans to do anything. And that's just it. And it's okay to not agree. It's okay to not want the same things. You don't have to agree with them because they're family. Family can be wrong too. And I understand feeling this way, because it's easy to feel this way when you grow up in a kind of environment only hearing the same things over and over again. I was exactly the same way. But the moment you leave, you feel free to think how you want, to make decisions how you want, to not have to worry about proving yourself to anybody and not having to worry about regretting things in the future. And I know you're hurt, and I know you're angry, but at the same time, you have to understand that there's more than just a black and white answer to this. And I'm not here to blame you or anything, because I feel like we had similar upbringings. Well, not the exact same, and I can't relate to the exact same upbringing. I feel like the sentiments are very similar. And I don't think you can realize how happy you could be if you're just not a part of that community anymore. Not saying you have to leave, but please try to see your brother's point of view. He doesn't do it to hurt you. But sometimes we have to leave to save ourselves. Just a lifetime of misery. Do you understand?
Give me a persuasion.
Oh no. Oh, not bad. 22. Unnatural, but what?
It couldn't be natural.
It couldn't be, because you can't roll
I meant
a
like
22 on the die.
I meant like I didn't roll a 20 and then add any. Sorry. Go.
I got you what you were trying to say.
Drown myself now.
No, I got you too. They're just being mean. They're just
no,
picking on you.
I understood
They're
too.
haters.
All I did was laugh.
Yeah, but you laugh at me all the time.
No laughing
Correct.
allowed in this campaign.
But not
Yeah.
at each other.
I'm sorry.
With each other. Anyway, I got a 17 plus 2. Plus 3.
Oh.
Plus...
I thought +5.
It is. This is why you can't make fun of me, guys. Because I'm
Oh
so
my God.
confused. I was an English major, not math.
That's really fair.
Gabriel speaks up and says, I feel that we have tried to reason with you quite a bit, Celia. So I have a question. What is your plan? How do you see this going?
She's just gonna look down. Just let her hair kind of like go in front of her face a little bit. So you mean those things that you've said about forgiveness then?
Of course.
And you all?
Of course. Some of us have long lives and we're gonna make so many mistakes. But
but as long as we learn from them and try to be good people moving forward, that's all we can do. It's all we can ask for.
Gabriel extends a hand and puts it on the top of one of your hands, and like leans over and says, I know you hate me, and you have every right to. But I truly have missed you. And I am truly sorry. I want my sister back. You have to understand. We cannot let this go on any longer. Father needs to be stopped, one way or another.
You know, it's a little funny, I suppose. I thought that was almost a kind of game, I suppose, between us. Competition, I feel, might be the better word for it. But that was never something you were playing, was it?
No. My actions and my interests have always been for the family, but for our survival. And unfortunately, as much as I don't want to believe it, Father does not care for our survival. He only cares about vengeance. And like I said before, he's willing to throw anybody in front of him to get there. Listen to what they told you. They killed Kyrian and Ophelia. Two of his children that he said all the time. You tell me this. When you heard of that, did Father show remorse? Or mourning?
Well, I don't think I'd go so far to say that he was overjoyed, but I don't know, I thought that was different, I suppose. He seemed to mourn you, though. Of course he did. But I thought that we were different than all that. Not like those other children. Thought that mattered. Must admit I'm less sure now.
You matter, Celia. At least to me, you do.
I don't want to interrupt, but the soup's been done for a little bit, and I took it off the fire, but now it's kind of getting cold. Are you guys ready for it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Faye is gonna lean towards Celia, and he's just going to. I think something to leave on is you keep talking about doing what's best for your family. Your family is sitting right there. Your family's sitting right there. And he's here sitting and convincing you. And he is showing you all the grace in the world. And I just wonder, you saw how your father treated him when he had a difference of opinion. And you see how he's treated you when you have a difference of opinion. Who acted more like your family? Because it wasn't your father. It was your brother.
I think just at that, Celia's just gonna start crying.
Oh, oh, frick.
And because you're a vampire, it's technically blood.
Oh, God.
Oh God.
Wait.
Basil's gonna pull out a handkerchief and like hesitantly nudge Celia and motion her to take it.
What have I been doing then? You're saying that father doesn't care. If I thought we were in some kind of opposition then, brother, then what have I been doing?
You've been strayed off of the path. Father's been manipulating you. Everything that you've been doing has been for him. Fortunately, he's wasted your time. But it does seem that in that time, you did train to try to kill me. So, that means at least you're good at fighting now.
I
Somewhat.
suspect I'm still not up to your level though, brother.
Well, we all saw what happened in the hall. And he smiles.
Do give one of those, I'm annoyed at you but still smiling anyways.
He goes to like wipe off some of the tears, like wipes your cheek and says, I can't stop father by myself. But with you, we have a chance. And he looks at the party. And it looks like they're on our side as well. That means we have a great chance.
Then I guess, what are your plans to use that chance?
I don't know. I've been out of the loop for 30 years. And he looks to the rest of the party. You said you were opposed to the Blackmore family. You killed Curian and Ophelia. Did you have any plans?
The biggest thing we have is an invitation to a celebration of a sort on the island. At the request of Lord Blackmore himself, it was delivered by some type of messenger in the middle of the night, and we were invited to attend. We haven't, right, out of character, we haven't responded yet, right?
Nope.
No.
Okay,
Nope.
okay, that's what I thought. We haven't responded yet because we needed more time to delegate. We don't want to walk into a vampire-infested manor with no way out. That was our big concern. So we have a way in, and if we were going to do anything, it would have been then, but we just weren't sure
And
what to do.
You planned on attending this dinner.
I mean, we've already attended a vampire ball before, so.
Do you guys know Harvest Tide?
Gabriel's eyes like flash, and you can see a face of like almost dread a little bit, and he looks to Celia. And he looks back to the party. He invited you on Harvesttide.
Yeah, he said that they're not gonna there won't be fighting us, and that it's a business meeting, and that it's only gonna take
Bullshit.
an hour. But I think that's kind of like rude because it's gonna take a long time to get there, and they're only gonna talk to us for an hour.
And I think they said if we don't go, they're going to kill us.
Either
Ada
way,
speaks
it's-
up.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Yursa.
I don't remember. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. Here you go.
Otto speaks up, and he kind of like directs it at Celia, and he's like, "Well, this is actually information that's pretty relevant. If I remember correctly, this would be the year that on Harvesttide would be a blood moon."
Oh my god. Fucking Christ.
Well,
Yeah.
First in 150 years, I believe.
Yes.
Like I said, father has plans.
Great.
But-
So, you all were invited to this party, and it's a blood moon, and you're most definitely. And then Gabriel cuts Ada off and says, "We're being led into a trap."
Oh yeah.
Well,
We all
that's
knew
what we thought
that.
the
Yeah,
whole
I think we were all
Surprise.
pretty
That's why we haven't
confident.
responded. We were
Yeah.
pretty confident that they were going to eat us. So
But I do like. Does the blood moon, does that like help people turn into vampires or something? And I don't know if that'll help really, because if the whole town's already vampires, and it's just kind of like,
Well, we wouldn't be.
well, but I mean, yeah.
A blood moon means that turning people is a lot easier. It also means that vampires can cross over things like running water, and stakes don't work.
That's not good.
And they become 10 times more strong than they were before. Which means that Father could move the army that is in Limgrove he's created across the ocean to Ephira on that day.
Should what if we like show up before the festival and we're like, sorry, we were a little bit early. What's that you wanted to talk about?
That is a plan. Celia,
As a vampire?
Mm.
Never mind. Never mind.
no.
I-
Go
I
ahead.
was just going to ask how you feel about death in general, because there's probably going to be a lot of it.
Well, consider I'm the product of life and death, and I've seen plenty of death in my life. I'm not fazed by it, if that's what you mean.
I more so if it were to come to a point with your family.
As in killing our father?
Quite possibly, if
Oh,
Think
that
so.
is the plan.
I just wanted to be sure, because I have no qualms with killing family members if needed, but
Yes.
I didn't want there to be any hard feelings.
I have a wacky idea. And tell me if I sound insane in this. Why don't we just tell people?
So I do remember that it did say that if we told people that they'd come after us.
Right. But as opposed to just walking in there on the blood moon?
Or
'Cause-
if we don't walk in there on the blood moon and we don't do anything to stop it, and then a vampire army storms Eastvaria, which Basil, while I'm sure you have no great love for Eastvaria, there might still be a person or two there that you may like. And on top of, maybe not, but still, right, vampires, it's like an exponential growth thing, right? So if an entire nation falls, then that's an entire nation to be soldiers.
The East Varian nation is pretty strong.
They're kind. They're kind, and they don't strike hard, and they don't strike fast. If it was Valamine, I would agree with you. It wouldn't happen. Istvaria, they're kind. It's a functionally some kind of strange utopia. And I don't
about
trust...
Dagram?
Dagram, they'll be fine. I mean, that's my opinion. Dagram just doesn't give a shit about anyone else. I don't know if you've noticed it. Who's seen anyone from Dagram in the last few years? Truly. Like,
That's
who?
right.
No one.
Vey,
Anyway.
calm down.
I'm
You're getting
just
really,
saying.
you're getting really loud about cities.
I will say, I don't know how this is going to go, but the people of New Lunaria would be more than happy to raise arms if needed.
The thing that could stop all of this is killing our father. The way that it works. He has spawned many children. Don't laugh like that.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Killing him cuts off their connection to undeath. Which in turn, if he turned the whole town, I assume, right? He looks at Celia.
Well, most of it. Around half was still left for blood supply, so to speak. But I would say at least the majority are turned.
Killing father would destroy his entire army in one fatal blow.
I'm sorry. This is not me being an asshole, but it's going to sound like me being an asshole. Didn't you say they were superior to everyone? Because that seems like a really big oversight in just the general things. Like, sure, if you kill a general in the army in the mortal ranks, you lost a general. But in this, if you killed a sire, all of them lose their powers.
I kick back in a chair awkwardly.
yeah. He's gonna look and he's like, you do see why I'm saying that his plan is bad, right? Like just logistically speaking, our opinions can be
Ursa
different.
raises her hand. I think the idea is that if you cut the head off a snake, the body dies. I
Correct.
think the idea is that if we are to take him out and his followers see how easily their head is beheaded, others will fall in place. And if they don't, they will suffer the same fate.
If you kill the main vampire and everyone else loses their power, you said like destroys the powers. Do all the vampires die, or do
Yes.
they?
Unfortunately, all of the ones that were turned are already dead.
There's no way to
Undead.
cure it.
Not to my knowledge.
I know we made a concoction a while back. that-
Oh yeah.
It stopped the process.
The Shamrock Shake.
Well, that just got people to throw up. And then he'll turn to Ada and he'll be like, "Is there a way to reverse it?"
Reversing vampirism is a little bit harder than reversing lycanthropy. If you're not a true vampire, which I would assume all of the people in the town are not and were human at one point, that means that the human gene, or mortal gene, sorry, is still in there somewhere. It's possible, yes. I don't know how you would administer more than half of a town, but I won't be there, unfortunately, so...
What, you can't take a break and come visit us in Vampire Island and just help us fix that and then go back?
Unfortunately, as much as I would appreciate and love to go with you all to Vampire Island, finding that
It's an adventure. It's an adventure.
Right,
Don't you
but
say you
my-
like adventures?
I do, I do. But my adventure is taking me to somewhere that's possibly going to save the world as well as yours. So, unfortunately, I'm not bogged down by an invitation from like a grandmaster vampire person. I'm free to go where I want.
Well, you know what? It's because you never get out. You never go on adventures. That's why no one invites you anywhere.
And you
What
never
was
got out
thinking-
before this, and now you're tied to go to a dinner of vampires.
Well, you know
Listen,
what?
You can come to Vampire Island to collect our done, and that could be like a new adventure for you.
He's not going to come. I'm just bitching at him.
You hear Gabriel go,
You should.
it's not vampire.
It might as well be, Gabriel.
Sure.
Ada, is there a spell that can like bring somebody who died back to life?
Oh, yes, plenty of those.
So, can we like after we kill him and all the vampires die, we can go around and like bring all of them back to life, and they won't come back like a vampire, right?
A lot harder than you think, Gak, to...
It's expensive.
I mean, you could find the ability to use a wish. That would do it.
Oh yes, that's for sure.
I have a lot of wishes.
No.
Would
It's-
Lady Gemcloak have some thought to this, perhaps?
She could.
She could. Gabriel goes, I'm sorry, Lady Gemcloak. I never asked, why are you in the White Crest Mountains?
That's your answer.
Oh,
Yes, we were originally on our way to see Lady Gemcloak, who is rumored to live up here somewhere. We had a myriad of questions and information to gain from her, and perhaps this is something else we could add to that list.
Lady Gemcloak is a lovely individual. Shouldn't have much problems.
You've met her.
I have.
We've been told and like consistently that it's hard to meet her.
It's hard to get there.
Oh,
Well, kind of both. I actually didn't go to her castle on the northernmost part. I met her just wandering around the northern section of the mountains.
that's nice. That
And-
it'd be really cool if that happened to us.
I doubt it.
Doubtful.
She said she does that only once every 500 years, so...
And
And that was
I'm-
within the last few.
30, I think. That's how long he's been here.
And that's less than
500, yeah. All right. Do you happen to have an easier way to get at least part of the way there? Or caves or passageways you found have been most safe?
Yes, it does not involve down here. I do have a contact on the surface that could actually guide you on a path around all of dangerous stuff.
You
If
mean
you would
there's
like.
people who live up here besides you?
There are. I think they're known as bear folk.
Oh,
What? Yes! Let's fucking go!
Your
We
sus
know a-
interest
we know
has
a
been
bear.
piqued.
you
There's
know a bear.
there's not many of them, but my contact's name Kova. He fishes in the same spot every day. Pretty easy to find him.
Isn't that your mout's name?
Yes, it is. You stole my baby's name.
In
It's
I
fine.
mean, someone
could
else.
I'm sorry. I mean, his name is Jacob.
I apologize. I feel as though I got us off topic. I bring up Lady Gemcloak just as another option. I do feel as though we should have a semblance of a plan moving forward in regards to your father. I think. Go ahead.
Sorry, not to cut you in. Ada, can you adopt him? Like, can we bring him back so he doesn't have to stay in the underground?
Gabriel or one of the bears?
Not the
Jacob.
bears. Gabriel,
I have a
obviously.
family.
I'm not opposed to that option though. I've never met the bear folk. That would be fun. But
No,
Gabriel
well, you
adopt.
can take the bear for too. I'm
I
just
would
saying.
like the bear friend.
Okay, all right. Anyway,
Rian, as soon as he
guys.
mentioned the bear, Rian looked at Urso like, "You hear that? You're a
Oh my
bear."
god.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, he's been cut off from civilization for a while. Isn't it better that he waits back there? He'll be safe.
I mean, yes, but at the same token, Celia, where are you planning to go? Because I really do not feel comfortable taking you with me as well. No, it's just that you were not but 10 minutes ago very, very evil and wanted to commit genocide with your father. So I didn't want you near our civilization. So where are you going exactly?
I suppose I don't know.
Would you be willing to work with us?
Seems like my best option as of present.
But is that what you want to do?
In all honesty, I think before thinking about once, I just want to know that I leave this cave, I'm not just dead.
You can help us with the whole world ending thing. We're going to fix that.
It's
Possibly.
a step-by-step process. We're figuring it out as we go.
I was going to suggest that you stay with me and we figure out our options. Also, I appreciate the chance for adoption, but I think that the harvest moon is getting closer, and I don't have very many means of fast transportation. So, starting our journey towards the castle is probably in our best interests. Us, at least.
I mean, all of us. I 100% trust our abilities. However, it was very hard to just defeat your, family member. I guess, rest in peace. It was really hard to do that with just all of us against one person.
Well, it wasn't when we opened the curtains.
That's
It got a
true.
lot easier just when you yank open the curtains because
That
there's
is
a lot.
true, but it did
Right.
take us a hot second to actually do that, and Rian and I were not good.
Right.
Um.
This is also happening on a blood moon.
Yeah,
Which-
that's what I was
Yes.
gonna say.
I know,
Right.
but I thought we were going to kill him before the blood moon.
I still
I think
think
we're-
we should do that. I think we should show up early because my mom always said it's good to show up early, because it shows that you are trying.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know what they say: the early worm kills the vampire.
Yes.
Early worm.
Anyway, would it be immoral of us to request help from a much larger group of people to help take down vampires? Or I'm guessing your father is very powerful and strong, with the blood moon on top of that. So just looking at around the table, I know we're all super strong and not scared at all. So hypothetically, if we were to get more scared, the closer we got to Vampire Island, how much of a good idea would it be to ask outside people to help? Would that be a bitch move because we're literally bringing them to vampires?
Sorry, not to be an asshole again, but I'm going to be because I can't help myself.
It's okay, we're used to it, Vay.
I know, it's a learning process. So you know how I was like, hey guys, maybe we should ask for help for the end of the world, and everyone was like, no, we can do it. Why is that changing with vampires? Because I think on the scale of, like, world end vampires, like, the world end is worse. So I'm just wondering, when we came to the consensus,
I don't think
that was...
I don't think anyone disagreed with that thought process. I think we all agreed that help would be nice. It was your father who said that we were the only option. So...
Yeah, I never thought we could do it.
I don't think any of us still thinks we can do it.
Right, so why are we doing this? I thought everyone was like like they were all ready to do this.
Regardless,
Your dad told us to, Vay.
He's not your father.
Alright,
You can just
I'm
say
gonna
fuck
ask
no.
All right,
everyone to lower their voices.
Yersa's trying to talk.
Rian, I don't need you to speak for me, thank you.
Yes, yes, sir.
Should we
Thank you,
leave?
Basil. No.
No, it's fine. This is our family drama, so like it's payback.
We
you
just
know?
sat through 45 minutes of your family drama, so now you sit through ours.
And honestly,
Yes.
at least
Very
we
sorry.
don't beat the shit out of each other. So I would
Mm,
say
yet.
Not yet.
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 Not yet.
It's
In my
still up
defense,
to
she
Vay.
stabbed me first.
No, you're fine, Gabriel. You
I
have done nothing
think
wrong.
What
You're
the
still
idea
trying to speak.
I think what the idea here is
How
that
come you didn't reprimand him?
Rian. Thank you.
I think I'm very worried about our chances now, Father.
That's what
Listen.
everybody says every time they meet us, and
We-
we always prove them wrong.
Are beginning our journey. Are we not? Are we not already accomplished in our very small journey? We are. We have much to do and much to grow, Vay. We have much growing to do. Okay? Listen to me. We are young seedlings that have been planted, and our soil needs to be nourished. And doing these little adventures, helping our friends, helping our peers, helping people we don't even know, over time, we are going to nourish our seeds. And our seeds are going to grow, and they're going to yield the most beautiful crops. Okay, some of us will be flowers, some of us will be fruit, some of us will be vegetables. And you know what? Those vegetables and fruits and flowers, listen, are going to be the vegetables, fruits, and flowers to save the world, Vay. It takes time. So, that being said, what do we use to nourish our garden? We use nutrients.
Water.
Listen, nutrients. Water is a nutrient. In this case, our water and nutrients is our friends. It is the allies that we make along the way. We need allies in order to grow. We need nutrients in order to grow. Therefore, when we go and when we face off with your father, the more nutrients we have, the stronger our seeds will be. And our roots will continue to spread out. We will gain all of these nutrients and will be very strong crops when we face off. But we have to gather allies.
What do we do if there's a drought and no one decides to help us? Are we still a garden?
We are still a garden because you know what?
But what
we
if
will
we're...
find the water.
I know. I'm just saying, what if we're a garden that's been taken over by a strange fungal monster? What happens then?
And we
I
find the
cry.
cure to the fungus, which we are doing, which we are working on. We can't save the world in one day, and it's going to take allies along the way.
Are you sure you don't want us to leave?
No. Just sit and listen. Yeah, go ahead.
My mom always said knee high by the 4th of Uktar.
That's right. Gak understands. Therefore, we will be knee high.
I'm...
No, Gabriel, come back. Gabriel, we didn't say you could leave.
So,
Going forward.
Gabriel, we
team,
don't know how to get out
as
of
we're
here.
building our plan, let us discuss the nutrients we need. We need allies. And I do think when we go to Blackmoor's, it might be better if our team of nutrients is rather small, right? If we go in with a full army, it's going to alert them. Yes, Faye.
Why don't we just get Ulrich on board?
Oh, that's a great idea. See, he's our water. He
You-
is our key nutrient.
You hear Gabriel go, he's still alive.
He
Yes.
is.
Very barely.
He was still alive.
It's close.
That's what we
Razor
thought
thin.
many times.
That is a wonderful idea. Him and a few of his friends. If we all show up, obviously, they would have to be in disguise of some sort. We can come up with that information later, but that help would be fantastic. They see, you're thinking like a true plant.
All right,
I-
Mom.
All right, so because I have to really go to the bathroom. We're gonna take our break right here.
Holy shit.
Oh my god! I just realized that the fucking music stopped. No, it didn't.
Nope. It just,
Uh,
the music respected Ursa's calls for silence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit.
So, oh my god, guys, amazing. So let's take a break right here.
Break.
5 minutes.
Break.
Quick break.
beep,
Come
beep,
back.
Break.
beep.
We got things we gotta go. We
Break.
gotta do. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
So let's just dive right into it. After very intense conversations between the party and Celia, trying to convince her that everything that Oberyn is doing is just plain out evil and wrong, and you're being brainwashed, and you should join us. Seems like they succeeded. Jury's still out on it, but Celia has at least come over to the side of the party and talked about a plan of attack. During those talks, near the end, Yrsa putting her foot down as the mom, giving a grand speech of nurturing the roots and plants of the party themselves. And, that,
Called cannabis.
as you go forward in your adventure, you'll make friends and allies. But we are diving back in as everybody is finished being grounded by Yrsa.
I think Faye and Basil are still grounded.
Yeah, I
I
think they
mean,
are.
I feel like it's gonna be like the next time you do something, you'll get more days on. Like, bet.
And also, because I'm trash, I changed the bear's name, the bear folk, to Koza, not Kova. Because I'm trash. So there we go.
Koza, I'm trash.
All right, I'm changing it back.
That's
Why
an-
does this
that's an-
always happen?
That's
to
an
me?
interesting last name, John.
Goblin. I know I deserve this, but please stop.
At this point, it's just bullying. Like it's.
I'm sorry.
So, we dive back in as Gabriel actually finally starts eating his soup that is cold. Actually, you do watch as he kind of picks up the bowl a little bit and places his hand underneath it, and you watch the bowl and the soup start to boil a little bit as
Oh,
he
shit.
somehow heats it up and starts eating it. He does the same for Celia and pushes it over.
Aw.
So,
He look,
No,
Okay.
fuck
Everyone else. This is my
fucking-
sister.
I want you to know that Vay sees that and instantly hands it to Ada. Just instantly, like.
you hand it to Ada, but Ada just holds it in his hand and just stares at Gabriel, and it starts boiling and hands it back. Like he doesn't do any gestures or nothing. It just happens.
Rianne's gonna
Yeah.
look.
Just sit back with it cold, and she's like,
Rianne's
It's
gonna.
hot, girl.
Rianne's gonna look at Yrsa and be like, "Can you do that?"
I could put some flowers in it for you.
I'll eat it cold. Oh, it's chunky now.
With your mouth closed, Rianne.
Yeah, it's got some grease in it, so it started to congeal.
"Ew, that's fucking nasty."
What? You're in a frozen fucking area. It's gonna
I
get
don't
cold
know.
real
That
quick.
Listen.
description made me feel icky.
I hate to be a bad guest, but Gabriel,
Would you like me to heat it up?
yes, please. He'll slide the bowl to Gabriel.
He picks it up and does the same thing and hands it back to you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? And Otto says, "Yes, anyone else?"
Oughta relax.
God, Vay is cracking up at that. Like he is like laughing, like doing the like thing on the table. He thinks that's fucking hysterical.
Gak, would you like me to heat up your soup?
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
Basil?
I like it cold.
I can tell you don't, and that's very irritating for me because you're not asking for my help. It's fine. It's fine. We have like 3 more days till Lady Gemcloak. It's fine.
And she slowly starts scooting it over to him.
Oh, now you want my help.
Oh my
you hear
god,
Gabriel
Anna,
go,
just heat up the soup.
if too much, I could do it. No,
Ouch.
it's fine. And he takes it and hands it back to Basil, and it's hot now.
Thank you.
Otto just starts eating the soup a little bit faster.
I just
Anna,
didn't want to contribute to the pissing match. I'm sorry.
Yes, Gak.
do you want my soup to be hot?
Well, you've eaten most of it already, so
I can get more.
but then it would already be hot.
Would it make you comfortable if my soup was hot?
Because you're sitting right next to him, he just places his hand on the edge of the bowl, and it gets hot. There.
Thank you so much, Ada.
Oh my god.
I appreciate it. And the soup is gonna be extra good.
Thank you, Gak. And he just goes back to eating, and there's this very awkward moment at the table where everyone is eating. Like, there was this intense conversation that was happening, and then it's complete silence, and all you hear is just the soup being slurped for about 10 minutes. It's just silent. Celia, do you actually eat the soup? Because I know you like to drink blood, so...
What a question.
I think she's
You too good for the soup? For the soup was war for you?
I think she after everything that happened, she would have had like 2 spoonfuls. The first one was just like, okay, this isn't that bad, I can get through this. The second one is just like, no, okay, this is just absolute shit. And she's just gonna do that thing where you have like the spoon of the bowl and it's kind of like shifting it around, but she's not eating shit anymore.
Hey, Celia.
Yes.
You like that soup?
I'm going to be honest with you, it's absolutely shit.
Oh. Did you notice that there is no poison in it?
Gak.
Yeah.
Because that's trust.
Oh my god. Vay is gonna look at Gak and then turn to Celia and he's like, you just, like, I get a carnivore? Do you only drink blood? Is this what that is?
I need good food.
Right. Do you have to kill the person you're taking blood from?
No.
Well,
That's
I
not
think
needed.
Basil will volunteer, you know? So...
In
I
all
think
honesty,
there-
it's not like I need her to volunteer. Sometimes
Well,
all it takes is a look.
Okay, well, then I would have to smite you. But if she volunteered, I wouldn't have to smite you.
Basil right now.
Basil, I don't think that you should do anything in haste. I think that you should sleep on it.
Gary leans on the table. He's like, I think you should do everything in haste.
Basil, you know what? Actually, it's your life. Make your own decisions, girl.
Gabriel says to Celia, is like, I won't be able to stop the smite. Letting you know.
Like I
also
said,
think there's some things that could be done in good faith. And she'll give a wink to Basil.
This feels like really personal. Do you do this in front of other people, or do you like go to a separate room?
Unfortunately,
where-
she cannot go to another room.
Oh, because she might kill me on accident.
Well, she also might just run.
That's also fair.
We could turn around
Um,
if you're
is this
actually
an
considering
I'm
this.
not like
Real
super against
thought?
people watching.
I think that this should be a spectator sport.
Oda says, are we debating whether or not you're going to get bitten by a vampire?
Are we?
Not
I think so.
debating. No, we're not. It's not a debate.
mean,
it's
it's
just
not
it's a
like-
calm conversation about what Basil might want.
If
Alright.
Basil's gonna be looking in Celia's direction, she's gonna look at her eyes. Well, I mean, do you want me to? And I want a charisma saving of 17.
Basil, make a charisma saving throw.
Okay,
It's- I don't know. Can you choose to fail willingly? Because I feel like that's the direction this was going in anyway.
Oh, I got it 5. So,
Oh
and she's just like, I think you're amazing, and you can do whatever you want.
I'm Gabriel says, I'm extremely uncomfortable.
Basil's just like charmed, kind of. She doesn't even. Like,
This
it's-
is an actual charm,
Yeah,
though,
she's
isn't it?
charmed, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, she's just like, you're amazing.
I think Celia just kind of has a moment of panic of just like she wasn't really, and has a little moment of hesitation, just like looks to everyone else around at the table, and was just gonna kind of sit back in her chair, you know.
We can have them turn around.
Basil, I hate to be the one to interject a very beautiful story that is beginning here. However, I think that's something you should consider. Being that I guess I don't know my vampire lore. If you drink from her, would that in turn turn her into a vampire?
No, she has to die from it.
Oh, well, if this is what you wish, Basil, I will not stop you, but I will not be watching.
It's like veganism. You know, no one gets hurt.
It's more like
No.
a parasite, but okay.
I think as long as someone is aware and is able to step in if needed, we should be fine.
Oh, I'll be ready to smite. Don't worry.
It's okay. You are allowed to watch. That is fine.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Gabriel, do you drink blood?
I have
That
not
was so
for,
funny!
I
You
have
know.
not for a very long time, no.
Do you want to?
No.
I want Faye to be sitting just like this.
Yeah.
On the his elbows on the table.
His tail is flicking back and forth in the background, and he's just like,
We'll
"All right, well, if you reconsider."
also say just during this moment of just distraction between whatever the shit's happening between Gabriel and Faye, Celia will chomp.
Okay. What's the damage?
I forget. Hold on. No, there's so many things. Okay.
I can't believe this is happening.
Chaos. Rachel and me are on the same wavelength.
It's a
God, I
D-
hate the way that this is. It's 7 plus. Oh, is that right?
Wait, hold on. It's 2d6
Yeah,
plus 2d8
plus my dex apparently.
plus
so
your
that's
dex.
7, so 13. Just, I guess it'd be piercing. It doesn't say, but that only makes sense. Plus 10
Plus the
necrotic.
2d8. So what was the damage again?
Fuck! Don't make me remember my numbers.
You must-
It was. What did I say? 13 plus 5? No.
You said
13
plus
would be
10.
Too high. That hits impossible. God, what did I roll for those 2d6s? I think it was like no. I think it was 13 total from the piercing. 13 piercing, and then
10 necrotic.
10
10
necrotic, yeah.
necrotic.
Plus,
So
God, I hate
23
remembering
damage.
Yes.
I'm
Basil,
sad.
I would like you to roll 4d6.
Oh shit. Wait.
Took Basil down to 13 HP.
I'll heal her. I'll heal
Sorry,
her.
what did
I
you say?
instigated
4d6?
this.
Roll 4d6.
Is there a way? Is it on?
At the bottom, you can, there's like dice buttons. You can just click like the square dice 4 times and then click roll. Okay. Celia, as you chomp into Basil, willingly, there is an immediate searing pain
Oh
as
no!
the blood leaves Basil and hits your mouth and throat. As
Paint
if
to me or paint to
to Celia, you take 14 points of radiant damage as the blood hits your mouth and almost creates like boils around your lips
shit.
and your throat.
Sorry.
And you immediately pull back. And Gabriel actually kind of like stands up a little bit, looking at what's happening. What just happened?
I'm not the vampire. I don't.
Well,
Shit, what's that?
Vale reach over to Celia, just gently tap and lay on hands for Celia because he was not expecting that to happen.
Basil,
Yeah, 'cause
you
ironically
also
enough, 'cause, like,
heal.
she already had 10, she would have gone down, but she gets healing from drinking blood, and so now she's at 6.
Basil, you also heal 14 points.
Oh damn! All right. Well,
How? Okay.
The hell is wrong with you?
What's
I've never seen this before.
I mean, no, I think it's because on. So maybe we should. She mentioned it before, so I thought you had already taken it into account. But she's a cleric of the Raven Queen. Probably, maybe there's some like holy magic going on there. I don't know. I'm non-denominational. As he reaches over and he'll lay on hands for 14 for the amount of damage she took.
Celia's also gonna grab out another wine bottle. It's not the same as she had before. And she's just gonna take a swig from it, kind of like swash it around, and just spit it out, and you can see it's all blood.
Lovely.
You're telling me you had blood on you and you decided to bite one of them instead?
That's okay.
And I think it
Well-
was more about the vessel as opposed to the ingredients.
It was also peer pressure on my part. I am sorry for that.
Don't
I
you-
think there's also something to be said about the freshness of things. Like I said, I only like good food, so.
Well, didn't seem like that one tasted very good.
I'm so sorry. I don't know. I don't think that's normal. But I don't drink blood, so I guess no.
No, I
Whatever
actually-
that was, it's not normal.
No, I actually heard that that's how it is now. So every time you drink blood, that's what happens. So I think that means you're gonna have to stop drinking blood because that's what I had. There was a book about vampires, and they said that now every time you drink blood, it does that. So
Well, now that that's over, did you all want to continue on your journey?
What time is it?
Can't tell. You've been inside of a cave.
Did we want to rest here before continuing?
I will
on?
say this whole part has been a short rest for you if you want to use that. Obviously not a long rest, but I mean, you've been here long enough for it to be a short rest.
we should probably long rest. I think that we short rested recently.
Yeah, you short rested before the worm tried to kill you.
Because I'm at full right now.
Yeah, we should long rest. I think.
Well, I am no longer.
I'm tired. And we know that when we're here, we're behind the big doors that the worm can't get us.
Correct.
Could give us an opportunity to and really plan out the next day.
There are a couple chambers. You all will have to be in the same room. Some of you.
Oh no. Same room with them? Seriously?
Unfortunately, all of the other chambers are.
It was a
frozen
joke.
in
It was
ice.
it was a joke. It was a joke.
Oh.
I'm glad you're back around people. I think this will be good for you.
Yes, yeah. Celia, you'll have to stay here, obviously, until we head towards home.
Right. Well, I suppose we have a lot of catching up to do anyways, so...
Yes. Well, if everyone would like to settle down for the night, if you would follow me, I can lead you to rooms. It does seem like it is dark outside currently. He gets up out of his chair, and he just holds the sword that he had like right next to him by the sheath and just starts walking around with it. And he leads you all, unless you guys are staying behind to talk. He like stops at the door and says, "The rooms would be this way."
They would grab Basil and be like, I want to talk to you for a minute when we have a second, but only for a short while.
If you're fine now, I don't know if it'll be going to go to bed immediately. I'm fine.
Yeah, I guess Faye's kind of like looking around to like see what everyone else is doing.
What does everyone else do?
Walking to wherever Gabriel is what Gak's doing.
I guess Faye will just pull Basil off to the side.
That's fine.
And just kind of wait till people trail out.
Okay.
I don't know if everyone else wanted to.
Yeah, where's
No.
Rian and Yersa going?
I just figured to the room. Rian doesn't have anything else he needs to do here.
So the three of you leave, and do the two of you tell the rest of the party like, "Hey, we'll catch up"?
Yeah, Faye would be
Okay.
like, we'll catch up,
Okay.
kind of thing.
Okay.
It's probably
Um,
super sus because this is the first time we've ever talked to each other.
It's been a hot
Ever.
minute.
God, they come in and it's like, oh God, Faye's also stabbed someone.
So just for the rest of the party, Gabriel leads you to. There is a large, like, double staircase that leads up to a second floor, and then there's like this massive spiral staircase that leads up to a third floor. The right side staircase is completely still frozen in ice. The left side looks to have been carved out to be used. As you go up to the second floor, Gabriel then leads you to the third floor. The third floor, again, there's a lot of sections of these ruins, this castle, whatever this is, that are carved out. And it seems like Gabriel carved out himself, because otherwise it was encased totally in ice. And Gabriel leads the party to a large, like, master bedroom that has like a domed ceiling, and the ceiling itself looks like it was glass, but it's not looking up to the sky because you cannot see the sky. Instead, you just see the crystalline ice on the other side of the glass. But it is a large domed area with a large fireplace that Gabriel walks over, and you watch as he shoots what looks like a firebolt into the fireplace to light it. There is a large, almost like, I think it's called like a California king bed. It like can fit like 6 or 7 people, and it has the poles on either side that lead into a canopy, but the canopy is like frozen. So the cloth that would be draped down is like making this beautiful like dome of ice. The floor itself is also still ice, but it's been carved out. But it's a room large enough for all of you. And Gabriel says, "Will this suffice for the night?"
Yeah, I think this will be good. I do have a question. Where will you and Celia be?
My room is right down the hall on the other side, and Celia will be in the room next to me.
Okay.
If you need me, just holler.
Thank you again.
Thank you. And he closes the door. Celia, Gabriel leads you all down a hallway to a very similar room, except this room is completely unthawed. He's been living here for a while. There's a desk with almost barren of like writing paper, but a lot of it is like drawings and paintings. You can see in this room specifically, Gabriel has created things to like pass the time. He's painting, drawing. If you do look, you can see like poems that he's written. There's actually like a mannequin that is completely almost destroyed. What looks like he practices fighting on. It's well lit. It is completely untouched by ice at this point. And he leads you into another room that is also carved out. And you are, Celia, as he's leading you through this and giving you a room which is not large like the other one, but it is a decent sized room, like a tavern room almost, the size of one. That is carved out but not unthawed. There's ice, but the bed is usable and everything. Looking at other doors that are open, there are no other rooms that are carved out. There are only 3 rooms that have been carved out. And you get the sense that 2 of those rooms, well, the 3 family members that are left, he carved rooms for each of you. This is where you'll be staying.
Funny that you didn't just carve out the one room for yourself.
Made it feel more like home.
I'm so sorry for everything, Gabriel.
I am too. But this is the first steps to fixing everything.
I do hope you're right. She just wants to lean forward and hug him.
He like kind of tenses up as you hug him, and then slowly puts his arms around you and hugs you. Good thing is, if this doesn't go our way, at least we'll be doing it together this time.
Should have always been that way.
But it didn't, and I do not hold you accountable. This is how it will be now. Glad you chose the right side. Because it seems that father was not training you how to fight properly.
Just gonna push back and just give him a punch straight to the chest.
Ow. That was okay. We have plenty of days ahead of us. That means we have a lot of training to do on our travels. Also, you need to find food that you like because we cannot kill people to get blood.
No, I don't have to kill them, Gabriel. Come on.
We cannot leave a trail behind ourselves.
I am bending so much for you, brother. I am willing to do everything to help support what you are wanting. And I ask for one thing in return, brother. Please. For me.
They cannot be mortals. We'll find livestock or animals
It's
in general.
so savage, Gabriel. Surely not. I'll be careful. I can be careful.
We'll see.
It's suppose we will.
You're infuriating.
Well, here's my job.
Also, next time you're gonna stab a vampire, you should aim a little higher. The stomach doesn't really work.
Wish I could say I missed you, Gabriel. But
Good.
But I suppose I haven't really missed this.
Good night, Celia.
Night, Gabriel.
And he shuts the door, and he heads to his room, leaving as we go back to Basil and Vay.
So first off, really quick before we do that, does anyone else here read fan fiction?
Yeah.
Does anyone? Okay. Do you know the trope where it's like, you guys walked in the room and Jonathan was describing the bed and it's like the trope, oh my god, there was only one bed. There was one bed. Oh my god.
I was sitting there thinking, oh, so cuddly.
Anyway. Yeah, no. Vay pulls Basil to the side and he's like, this will come as a surprise. But no, a different surprise, probably bigger. I'm sorry.
That is a surprise. What for?
And you can see he's struggling, like he doesn't apologize often.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, I held you to a standard that was unfair and not taking into consideration your upbringing. And upon seeing someone like Celia who stayed despite it all, I'm glad you left, no matter what you did to do it. Because turning into someone like that and having to struggle through all of that doesn't seem like it made anyone a better person. It just made the family more broken. And I appreciate the strength it takes for you to be able to walk away from a family that's doing something wrong.
Well, I really appreciate that, Vay. I never once blamed you for thinking of me that way. Mostly because it's taken me a long time to not think of myself that way, a lot of guilt, just tearing myself down for how, I guess there's no easy way to necessarily leave your family, especially when they're not good people. But the fact that I could have done something is something that I will think about and hold myself accountable for the rest of my life. So I don't blame you or anybody else who may have had me. I know how it looks and I know how it sounds. And we all have monsters in our closet, and some of them seem worse than the others. So as someone who we haven't gotten to know each other as well as our relationships with other party members, so we never really gave each other the chance to be able to really understand where each other was coming from. I held you at a standard too, because I couldn't understand what it was like to be so close to a family and have that life to go back to. My life, I'll just be going back to being by myself in the woods. And you have a home and a family to go back to. And I seem rash sometimes because I think that's fantastic. And I don't understand how that feels. So I may have been rash with the way I talked to you, with the way I talked and reacted to your family. And I'm really sorry if I came across as any way jealous or whatnot. I think that the more that we go journey together, able to see eye to eye more, just we're journeying together, you know.
Yes. I just want to say that I don't think that you have nothing to go back to. My family, they're not related to me. They found me in a snowbank, and they just decided that they want to keep me. And that's all it was. And I think that this party, Yursa, Rian, Gak, Gideon, I think they all want to keep you too. And I do as well. So, you have people to go back to. Don't feel like you don't.
Basil's gonna wipe a tear away from her eye. This feels really weird, but refreshing.
I'm a bastard. I know. It's
I thought that we were just never going to. Maybe saying friends is jumping the gun.
I think
maybe,
you can say friends at this point.
well, I could.
I am sorry. I truly am. It's not fair of me to treat everyone the same. And
Happens.
I hope going forward I can be a bit better about it. And I'm sure you'll tell me if I'm not. So.
I think you're wonderful. And whether you see it or not, you think you're a bastard, whatnot. Times we know how to be so candid that it drives you crazy. But we're such a mixture of different ways of life in here that sometimes we need the bastard.
Yes, it might also be guilt that I convinced a vampire to just bite you. I'm sorry, I didn't expect that to happen. It was more of a joke, but and he'll turn to like start walking back, you know, so they can walk and talk. Because it's like that wasn't what I was expecting.
It's you know, if I'm being honest, I wasn't like totally against the idea. I'll be honest, I've had my own fling in the past before. And
with vampires?
Just anybody, really. It's been a long time if I'm being and so I thought it might have been fun. It did not end up the way I thought it was going to. I didn't know that I apparently have psycho blood. So I feel bad for that.
I think you're just blessed. So by the Raven Queen. I mean, I don't mean luck-wise, because we're not lucky. You're not blessed with luck. I've seen you die more times than I've seen you.
Yeah, it's not fun. I'm tired of it.
Could you not just, like, send a prayer and be like, hey, can you stop killing me? Like, is that not something you can do?
It's, you know, I actually never thought about it. Most of the time, it's like, hey, what? And she's like, the whole weight of the world is on you and your friend's shoulders. Bye.
You see, this is why I don't mess with the gods. They're just cryptic, and it feels weird to ask people for things.
I know. That's why I always tell people I was an atheist until like last month. But she is like my, you know, like what Gak says, my Raven mom, you know. So she's like the only one I believe in, you know, unless like Paylor were to show himself to me, or I don't know. What's his animal? Would it just be like a light beam, or like would the sun get extra bright someday? I'm not sure. But Raven Queen was the only one who really showed herself to me as a bird and her actual. So I don't know what more proof you need, because I don't believe in the thing.
Vay is looking at her and he's like, God, I don't know if this friendship is going to be good or bad, because I think we'll bring out the worst best in each other, you know?
I think it is the kind of friendship that both of us needs, because we will not have this kind of friendship with anyone else in this party.
That's fair.
Everybody else is a good influence.
Oh, and we're the bad influence, right?
We're like the morally gray area, depending on the situation.
You know, it's great that there's 2 vampires and not just 1.
That is great. You could honestly, I'm sure, if you were convincing enough, you could ask Gabriel to sleep in the same room with him.
Fucking Vay stops and he's like, you can see he's considering it, and then he's like, the man's been traumatized enough for one day. I think we should just give him some space to breathe. He's been stabbed, so like, I don't know. You know, when we see him again before we die, then we can talk about it.
I think that's fair. I feel like, yeah, on deathbed, which I happen to be an expert now, you'll do anything. Anything.
God.
Because you know you're going to die. And I have come back many times, and some of the things I do regret, maybe, in the past.
Just while we're on the topic, stop running into people's weapons. Just stay behind me, please. It's very stressful. Or Rian, stay behind Rian. And don't throw yourself on top of Rian. If he's down, we'll get him back up. You just don't need to go down with him, you know? It's stressing me out.
It's stressing me out.
God, I feel like they come to the door and Vay like stops and he's like, there's only one bed. As he looks at everyone else in the party.
How is everybody else already laying down and like sleeping?
Yeah, I think that Rian's like all the way off to one side, like just trying to sleep after this horrible day. Just like as tiny as he can on the edge of this very large bed. Just like, I just want to sleep.
Where's your son Gackling?
Yurso probably would have like made, because she doesn't like sleeping on regular beds because she's a
That's
fucking
fair.
weirdo. She probably would have made like a little small circle, like there's probably not a way to make a hammock in this room, and she's probably gonna just make like a little small spot on the floor.
Oh, that's cute.
Gak is standing in the middle of the room.
his AI broke it.
He's just kind of waiting for you guys.
Hi, Gak. Why aren't you
Hi.
sleeping?
I was just waiting for you guys.
Oh, we weren't going to kill each other. What you were
No, I didn't think that. If I would have come after you, if I thought that.
Yeah.
He's been like that for the past 15 minutes.
Ada's sleeping.
Absolutely in the bed with y'all.
Yeah,
In the middle.
Ada is actually like sitting up on one of the sides of the bed, like taking up the most as much as he possibly can. I mean, the guy is almost 8 feet tall. But he also has like a book in front of him and it's floating and he's just using his hand to turn the pages, and he looks up and says that and then goes back to reading his book. There's a little dancing light right beside him, giving like a little book light.
Maybe one of the vampires will want me. I'm going to go see.
No.
That
Follow.
we could both ask Gabriel.
This is weird.
If you're gonna go ask, just ask and get out.
What are you trying to ask?
Oh no.
They want to sleep with the vampire.
Hastily.
Oh, no. I don't think that's a good idea.
No, it's not, but it's clear the two of them are full of making bad decisions.
If it means anything, I only like sleep. So
You cut out.
Oh my god.
I think
I said,
Move the mic closer.
if it means anything, I only sleep for
4 hours. She only
Okay.
sleeps for 4 hours. I've been lip
Okay.
reading this whole time.
Okay.
That's why I know how to respond.
Can you
They-
hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Veya's going to like. Can't hurt to ask, right? I mean, Celia seemed interested. She can't bite you, but you know.
No.
It's it's like it's just like no. Vey. That's no for Basil, right? Because as he starts to kind of back out of the room.
No.
I think that was to both of us.
He can't say no to me. I'm an adult.
I'm an adult too.
I think Gak
I'm-
said no, everyone.
I'm
so that
older
means it's
than you.
bedtime.
I'm older than you.
It's bedtime. Time to go to bed.
I'm trying, but there's about 1,000,001 conversations happening in the room.
Brienne, you're really loud. We're trying to get ready
That's
for
it.
bed.
I'm sleeping in the hallway, and he's gonna pick up a blanket and a throw pillow, and he's stomping his ass out of the hallway.
Vey is like stopping him. He's like, I'll go. It's fine. As he like
No.
retreats out.
Gak shuts the door before they can leave.
Go to bed.
Do you know how rare it is to find a hot man in this frozen wasteland?
That's messed up.
You know, Ada, you don't get to say anything about this, alright?
Why not?
Do you want to go sleep with Gabriel?
No, I was just going off the comment of finding a hot man in this place. I am right here.
I'm sorry. Am I forgetting the part where you rejected me?
No, I'm just saying
Well,
we're not.
well, you're not eligible, obviously.
No, we're brothers.
Fuck off.
Not by blood, but you know.
I think we missed the part where it was bedtime.
Listen, are we going to stop talking and go to bed, or we're gonna keep talking and I need sleep out in the hall?
We'll go to bed.
Okay.
Go to bed.
So go sleep with the vampires if you want for all
Brian
I
gets
care.
very grumpy if he doesn't get.
I'm
his
not
sleep.
grumpy.
Oh, we know.
Well,
You definitely do not sound grumpy.
Thank you, Ada. I understand it was facetious, but I don't care.
Well, I'm glad that you knew.
Shh.
Would you like me to put you to
Oh
sleep?
my!
oh my god.
I hate all of you.
Vey is like, all right.
Rian's this close to screaming into his pillow.
God, Vey is smiling and she's like, and he's like, he looks and he's like, you know, I'll sleep next to Rian. I feel like that's a good spot for me. I'm climbing in.
I don't care where you sleep as long as you do.
God, yeah, Vey will crawl in. He's like, Basil, you should come here too.
Oh.
You guys are fucking
Basil's gonna-
cute.
Okay. Is there anything else anyone is doing?
Best friends.
Yeah. How far away is Celia's door from our door?
Probably like 50 feet.
Okay. For Gak to ritual cast alarm, it takes 10 minutes, and that's a 20-foot cube. But I know we did one time where if he like ritual casted it a couple times, it got big, and he wants to have alarm outside of all 3 door like thresholds.
I will say that as you start casting it, and you go over to Celia's door, there's already an alarm spell there.
Good.
Oh yeah.
I went, Gak nods and he just like puts his next to it.
Okay. There's
Um,
not one on. There is not one on Gabriel's door.
Yeah.
Are you putting
Just
one
in
there?
case.
Jonathan,
Yeah, just in case.
Jonathan.
Yeah.
Is there a way, at all, possibly, that you could give me Ada's sheet so I can edit his fucking spells?
I could think about it. and while I'm thinking about it, I'm actually pulling it up right now so I can give it to you. Yeah.
Because here's the thing. It's not well the thing is if you send me the link to it, I can't edit anything for me.
Just add him to the campaign and then release
Assign it.
him as a character. Yeah, I think you'll have to release unassign him from yourself, and then Knight you should be able to assume direct control.
Great. Because
How do I add someone to the campaign? Here we go. Create unassigned character.
Here.
Wait. Does it not create unassigned character? But it was.
Give me a second.
No, you'll have to copy and paste the link into your bar.
Oh.
And then it'll invite you to and then you can add a character, and then you can do the whole 9 yards.
All right.
Sorry, if I vortex warp one more thing, I'm gonna throw myself out a window.
Okay, first of all, Vortex Warp has worked really well.
It's worked really well. It's just the only spell on there that I was using.
True. So is there anything else anybody would like to do?
No.
Okay.
While Basil's just laying there, she'll want to try to reach out to the Raven Queen and be like, "Did you see that? Why is my blood doing this?"
Okay. Make a religion check. With advantage.
With advantage. Thank God, because that was
Jonathan.
yeah, slightly better. 21.
Okay. You should be able to claim it now, Knight. Let's go in there and
Yes,
click claim.
I've claimed him.
21? You said? Oh, wait. Rachel?
Huh? 21.
21? Okay.
What are you?
Okay.
What are you looking at, Rachel? Oh, okay, your screen. I thought you were looking at the wall. I thought you saw a spider or something. I thought you were just like eye contact. Like, don't you come any closer, motherfucker.
You would know if I saw a spider. Yeah, no, my second.
Okay.
Okay. Basil. So as everyone falls asleep, are you trying to connect to her while you're still awake, or?
She's just laying in bed, kind of like how she, always does. I don't know if in the past she was necessarily like doing her meditation rest, or if she was just trying to reach out. I would guess she was doing her meditation rest.
Okay. Okay. So, Basil, as you sit there and you meditate, you can feel the divine energy within the place you are currently at, as mentioned before. And your vision leaves you. For those who are still awake and probably have a perception of higher than passive perception, higher than 16 would see this. Basil, your eyes go completely black. And as that happens, there's this rush of air and then a sudden stop as you stand in a field of grass. There are flowers of all different colors around you that are blowing in the wind. And from the shadow that is cast on the ground from the sun behind you, you watch as a figure emerges from it. A large, lanky, dark figure with a white mask, long black hair. You called?
Hi again. I missed you. For one. I had an incident earlier today, and I was wondering if you would help me figure out why this happened. We're currently with 2 vampires right now, half vampires, and we are going to make our way to Lady Gemcloak first, and then go to Limgrove to kill other vampires. Not the point. I had offered to let one of the half vampires feed off of me a little bit. But when she bit me to drink my blood, it like burned her a little bit. Like she got it was like she was like frying. Her mouth was like getting all of those and blisters, and I didn't feel as bad afterwards. Like it I could tell it hurt, but afterwards I felt fine. And I have no idea what I don't know what that means.
Well, that is a very interesting story.
I know.
And 2 vampires. Basil, you amaze me every time we talk.
That's surprising. But thank you.
I would ask first with these vampires, do you trust them?
We trust their cause. We just met them, so I can't say that I trust them wholeheartedly. Just because it can take a while to get there. But we want the same thing. We have the same enemy, and right now we're just working together because we need to have the same kind of outcome to protect people and take away someone who is going to hurt a lot of people. What's it called? Harvest what?
Harvest Tide, or the Blood Moon, or
who's going to hurt a lot of people in the Harvest Tide.
well, I would first ask, what do you know about the origins of those who are our greatest enemy, the undead?
Going to be honest, I did have what would be considered a higher education, but then I left before it got even higher, and then I didn't bother learning that.
Well, I would use caution when doing deals with those from that origin. There are many great lords and some gods that would want to watch the world burn and create all life undead. We are here to stop that from happening, to make sure the natural order of life and death is upheld, and those who pervert that order do not succeed. So my first advice, Basil, be cautious. Your question. The vampire drank your blood, correct?
Very little. It didn't take much for my blood to that nick. She seemed unenthused when I
You could see for the first time the Raven Queen herself You can't see facial expressions. She has a mask on. Immediately, she like stops herself mid-sentence, and you watch as her form starts to shrink, and that black veil over the body that obscures her entire form itself starts to fade away, revealing a almost fragile but elegant and regal dressed woman. And you watch the mask itself start to dissolve into shadow as it breaks away, and you see under the mask this beautiful pale face. And as the hair kind of recedes back into this almost like crown, the hair kind of wafts up into a huge like bun. There's a crown that sits in the center, and these like raven feathers of like a mantle behind. One eye is pure black, and one eye is half white, and you see this.
Oh, she looks badass.
And that voice that you've heard this entire time, there is no echo. It is as though she is there. And this is the first time you are actually seeing the Raven Queen. She says, "May I step forward?"
I should be asking you that. Do gods show themselves like this?
No. This is forbidden.
Why?
But this is important. May I?
Yes, of course.
She steps forward and she grabs your hands, and they're cold. But there's this that tether, the strings that you've seen of destiny throughout. You see like veins that are turning gold in your hands that are like connecting to hers as well. And she says, "I thought I would have a little more time to discuss this, but it seems that there is divinity that runs through your veins, Basil. Not just as a cleric, like most clerics, but different."
I'm pretty sure neither of my parents are magical.
That is correct.
Unless I'm adopted.
The divinity that runs through your veins. The question you've asked me before, multiple times, of why you were chosen. Why I chose you. It's the same divinity that runs through mine.
I'm so sorry if I cross as ignorance, but I'm not.
You have had many lives and names before this one. You have not always been Basil. You are my child.
Gods can have.
No. But I was not a god once. You, back then, were on the brink of death. And in order to save your life, praying to the god of death then did not respond. I took it upon myself to challenge him for his godhood, and killed him, and became the god of death. And I used that power to bring you back. And I have brought you back 4 times now.
Then why? If you said I've lived multiple lives, why can't Bernie? Why do I never know who you are? Do I not remember you?
Because as a god, it is up to your will to worship one. I cannot will you to worship me, and the only way that I can give you my abilities is through your worship.
In all of these past lives, have I ended up worshipping you?
Yes, I would admit they were less stubborn, but yes, I have meddled in the ways that God should not. But as the god of death, I refuse to let you die.
Wow. Can I ask if you have the ability to choose where I start over again?
No, I do not. I have the ability to usher your soul back to the living. And that soul grabs on to whatever newborn would be.
Have all of my past
You cut out at the end.
have all of my past lives as the
Cut out again, and I can't read lips.
why?
You got closer to the microphone, but you started speaking quieter.
I spoke to them anyway.
Sorry.
In any of my past lives, were they as bad as this one?
In what regards?
Have you been watching me my whole life?
Yes.
So you must know what they put me through.
I do. But as a god, I cannot intervene.
But you did though. And those men almost beat me to death. Showed yourself to me and brought me back.
Every time I intervene, the gate gets thinner. But, as I said before, I'm not willing to let you die.
Will it come to a point where I can't even talk to you?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. With the gates thinning, I'm able to talk to you more. And my cat is over here meowing.
What is
A cat in the distance is just walking by. I'm
But with-
sorry for lying.
I understand. I mean, you're a god. Can't always be about. So Gak was right. He called you my Raven Mother, and I jokingly said that. He was right. I knew he would.
Now you know not only why I have chosen you, but why you must carry out the task.
Do I do with this information? Am I allowed to tell my friends? Am I supposed to be a different way? I don't know.
You can be whoever you want to be, Basil. You can tell whoever you want to. I would caution that telling people that are not your friends could have consequences. There are insane individuals in the world that might find you as an actual god and start worshipping you.
I would hate that.
I would say all you have to know is that I am always watching. I cannot intervene, but I am always watching.
I know you're still a god. Am I allowed to hug you?
Yes.
Have we hugged before? I don't remember.
No,
Basil
you have not.
slowly inches forward. Is the Raven Queen taller than her?
Same height.
Basil's just gonna, in a very mom and child way, just wraps her hands around her waist and squeezes.
As you do that, the cold sensation you felt from her hands, there's this immediate warmth. You can see the paleness of her skin start to almost return to normal. As there's this human emotion that this god, the Raven Queen, leans into. And as you go away, the skin turns pale again and cold. I haven't felt that in a very long time.
Don't think my Rudley hugged me. Thank you for being my mother and always wanting me. I didn't think anybody did.
She holds her hand underneath her chin and says, I will always want you. I will always be around. And I will never forsake you. I'm just sorry that I can't be there with you all of the time.
Given me so much, though.
I haven't given you enough.
You've given me attention. Given me.
I would have given you the world.
We can give each other the world.
You'll have to save it first.
I'm trying.
Be fine.
I love you.
You too. And with that, the vision fades and you come back to the room. The rest of you who are not asleep see Basil like kind of shoot up. The eyes go back to normal. Ada, who is still reading his book, looks over. All right. And just continues to read his book.
How long, how long was Basil
Like a minute.
out of it? Oh, Jesus.
Is anybody awake?
Vay's like falling asleep, but like he'll roll over if Basil like gets up, you know? Not like gets up, but like sits up, you know?
Yeah, I think since Yrsa was on the floor, she could she hears the bed kind of make a noise and she looks up.
Is everything okay, Basil?
I saw the Raven Queen in her actual.
Oh. Well, was it another one of your visions then?
No, I was actually there with her. Beautiful field.
What did she say?
She told me that this isn't my. She told me that I'm her daughter. And that this isn't the fourth life I've.
Does Yrsa know anything about gods having children?
No.
Yeah, she's. Go ahead, sorry.
I would say Ada closes his book.
Fair.
What, like a metaphor? Like daughter because you're her cleric, or daughter as in she?
She birthed me. She said it was back before. She wasn't a Raven Queen. She was immortal, and I was apparently very sick and was on the brink of death, so she challenged the god of death and won. And then kept me alive multiple lifetimes.
Oh my god. Rian, wake up. As he's grabbing Rian's shoulder and like shaking him. It's like, don't get grumpy. Basil's like a godling. Basil's like a baby god. I need you to be awake for this.
Basil the baby god.
We need someone with like emotional competency that
Gak, you hear this too.
Basil's a baby goat. What happened?
No. Basil is the child of the Raven Queen, like literally her child. Like
Okay, all right. Okay, Basil. Basil's what now?
the
Raven
child.
Queen birthed me, and I'm her daughter, and I've lived at least 4 lifetimes.
Oh. Okay, see, I'm dreaming.
No,
Rian,
I think she's
Rian.
very serious.
Rian, wake up. Rian.
Oh,
Rian.
no. Oh no, this isn't
You
a
just
dream.
see
This
the
isn't a dream.
leftover tears down
Aw.
her
Okay,
cheeks and
all right.
everything.
All right.
She's crying,
this isn't-
Rian.
Okay, all right.
Yrsa's
I
gonna
understand.
get off of the bed or get on the bed, I guess, and just crawl
Oh.
across everyone
All
to go
right.
hug Basil.
Okay, all right. Okay, I understand that I'm not dreaming. I get that now.
Well, if anything, this is quite a beautiful moment for you, right, Basil? I mean, bittersweet, if anything.
We hugged. And She told me she loved me.
Well, that sounds like more sweet than bitter, if anything, right?
I think it's something I've been searching for a long time, and apparently in all my other past lives I ended up following her too. And I always found out eventually. She said maybe I'm more stubborn my other lives. But I decided to connect with her because I just was confused about what happened when Celia tried to drink my blood, and she had said that there's not just a clerical kind of divinity within me. And then she told and she like paraphrases everything she told everybody for Rian.
Yeah, for sure.
Otta says, well, that's going to come in handy when you go to Vampire Land. They can't bite you.
I mean, I'm sorry. Something good came out of that. That's hysterical. Not that I'm just saying
Well-
you knowing that because of that is funny. But the situation isn't funny. The situation precursor to this is funny.
And I think that this is only good news.
I think so.
I mean,
She did tell me though, even though we're working on the same Gabriel and Celia, she told me I need to be careful.
Right.
And that our main enemy in this world are those who are trying to seek the ability when it comes to the undead. And that's people like Gabriel and Celia's family over at Lim, like my mortally nip it.
Mhm.
It was a lot.
Yeah?
She said that planes between the gods and us are very thin.
Right.
that would explain the rifts.
Should be easier for me to converse with her. Feels like it doesn't take much now.
I'm not sure if she said anything, but if the magic between the planes is thinning, is consistent communication weakening that magic keeping everything apart?
For the realms that, or the planes that are popping up? What do you mean my communication with?
Well, just in general. I mean, I suppose, and Ada, you can maybe pipe in on this in case you know, but is it one general sort of shield that separates everything, or is it hundreds of small shields? Because if it's one big shield and that communication thins that, then...
It is said in the cosmology, or whatever you call it, that there is a single divine gate around our world, outside of the astral sea. So, there's a single divine gate. So, the rifts opening on our plane of existence means that there are cracks in the gate, apparently,
And
it's thinning.
And did she say anything about her communication with you?
She said if anything, it's just going to get easier.
Well, that's good.
The communication between the gods and patron. No, other way.
I will say
don't
she
know.
said every time that she's communicated like this with you, it has thinned the gate.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So, but then she said it's gonna get easier. So it's like,
Yeah, because as the gate is thinning, it's easier for them to
Right.
communicate.
And
But
Okay.
if they communicate like this, it also thins it.
not nice. It's I have a chance to talk to her a lot more, but the more she reveals herself to me, that thins the gates.
Oh.
So it's one of those things where we shouldn't, but she she doesn't ever to me or
I think that this is a very good, very, very good thing, Basil. If anything, I think this is something you very much deserved. And you're welcome. You should feel good in this moment, knowing that there always has been someone there, whether you knew it or not. But of course, it's good to hear it and feel it.
right. Yeah.
I don't want to be that person, but it's not all sunshine and roses, because if you're a child of a god, then that means that's a direct line to a god. Which means that if someone finds that out, they're going to want you. Whether or not it's for good or evil. And if your blood is caustic to vampires, people will take you apart for parts, like they do dragons or other things. Like, this is a secret you have to keep close to your chest.
And please, I only told you all I trust you. We can't even tell Gabe, anybody. Because not only
The vampires? No, we're not telling the vampires. Are you kidding
Right,
me?
I just, I don't know if they'll get suspicious of me just because we already had that reaction with my blood. So I don't know if they'll be like, Rachel.
I don't think they'll be like that at all.
I don't know if they'll be like, Basil, you run first since you hurt vampires.
The vampires, they don't understand how clerics work. It's like
That's
the
fair.
antithesis of what they are. It's fine.
That's
Don't
true.
worry.
That's true.
We'll leave them in the dark. Don't even worry about it.
I'm not worried. I'm
You seem very
fine.
worried.
I will push you off this bed.
I think the best plan of action is just to take this one day at a time. We keep this information as close to our chest as we can. And proceed on as if nothing has changed, but maybe a little bit more comfort on your end, Basil.
So I forgot to ask her. There was a lot going on. Since whenever I do speak to her like that, it helps thin the gates. But it makes it easier to ask her for help. I don't know if I should just stop.
It's a double-edged sword, right? Because
It is.
better help from her is good, but then also, what other deities that maybe are not so kind to us are doing the same thing? So those individuals could be reaching out more, getting more information and more help, thinning that divine gate more. So do we help them make it easier to communicate with their gods, but allow us to have a stronger pull or stronger connection to the Raven Queen? It's a very, very difficult question. Oh.
I know she reaches out when I think I need to hold back. It's just gonna make it harder, especially now, but like you said, we cannot let the quote, not good gods come into contact with people who want to do harm. I think that would be the responsible thing to do.
Well, I'd hate to break this up. Can we actually go to sleep now?
Is this inconveniencing you, Ada? I'm so
A
sorry.
lot.
Maybe tomorrow I'll tell you that I'm
Fucking
also the child
Vay is gonna
of-
turn and kick him off the bed. Like with his paw. He like takes his paw, which is like a digigrade, like double hinged paw, and just full force off the bed.
He gets up, brushes himself off. That was not necessary.
Apologize.
For what?
This is actually quite a big thing going on. Say sorry to Basil. I said sorry to Basil. Now you have to say sorry to Basil because I was uncomfortable, and now you have to be uncomfortable.
And now we're friends.
Oh, I'm so proud.
Thanks, Yosa.
Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome. This is a good day for
Mo-
everyone.
I'm sorry.
You may come back into the bed.
Thank you. And as he does that, I think with all of this new information and the party just trying to figure out what to do with this information, talks with Celia and Gabriel, and you've gained 2 new allies for
Woo!
whatever is to become of Castle Blackmore.
More
but
Gemma.
you all sit there and you eventually all fall asleep. Basil, you have a rough time falling asleep just
Fair.
from the adrenaline and like thoughts running through your head of like, oh my god, my mom's the Raven Queen. But with that, I think that's where we'll end the session.
Oh shit!
Woo. Jonathan,
Aw.
God bless you.
You're a cool guy.
Cool guy.
Wonderful
Hey,
as
thanks for
hell.
watching, everybody.
Yes.
See
Oh
you in
shit,
the
that's
next
right.
Woo!
Woo.
Thanks, you guys.
That was the tune.